Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at an absolutely chilling survival event from the fall of 2018. It's a story that's basically become a masterclass in personal awareness and safety. It starts with a totally mundane commute and, well, rapidly escalates into an absolute nightmare. We're going to break down exactly what happened and, more importantly, the brilliant life-saving choices that were made along the way. Okay, let's dive into this.
I want you to ask yourself honestly, what would you do if a car just wouldn't stop following you? Just imagine for a second you're 24-year-old Emma. It's a freezing cold evening, you've literally just finished a completely exhausting shift at work, and all you want to do in the whole world is get home, kick back, and finally get some sleep. The roads are unusually quiet, businesses are closed for the night, traffic is super light. It's really just you, the dark road ahead, and your own thoughts.
Part 1. The Rear View Mirror. A quiet commute turns dark.
So here's the first phase of our timeline where Emma initially spots a dark shape trailing her through these empty city streets, a black SUV. Now, grounding this story in real time is absolutely crucial to understanding the mounting panic here. Her shift ends in the fall of 2018. At first, she checks her mirror, and honestly, seeing the same vehicle behind you for a few miles, not unusual at all. We've all experienced that. But 15 minutes later, that exact same black SUV is still back there. This seemingly normal, quiet commute starts taking on a very, very sinister tone over the course of just a quarter of an hour.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how that creeping realization sets in. Matching turns for 15 solid minutes is rarely just a coincidence. I mean, every single turn she made, the SUV made too. A really strange, heavy feeling starts growing in the pit of her stomach. She's actively trying to convince herself it's just a coincidence, right? Telling herself I'm overthinking this. But her instinct, that really deep gut feeling, was screaming a warning.
Part 2. Trusting the instinct. The route test. At this point, Emma's stomach is completely dropping. But rather than ignoring that fear, she decides to actually act on her growing suspicion. She implements what we'll call the side road test. Instead of taking her usual predictable route home, Emma purposely turns onto this random side road she almost never uses, totally out of the way. And boom, she gets her terrifying confirmation almost instantly. The black SUV followed her there too. Now she knew, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt, something was very wrong. Her heart is literally pounding against her ribs.
So Emma immediately grabs her phone and calls her best friend Sarah, nervously explaining she's being followed. And Sarah's response? It's a real game changer. She says, don't go home. Drive somewhere public or go straight to a police station. You see, Sarah immediately took it seriously. She didn't tell Emma she was crazy or overreacting. This right here is a crucial, actionable safety rule that instantly shifted Emma's plan from just getting home to actively surviving the night.
But here is the terrifying reality of her situation. 20. That is the number of agonizing minutes it would take to actually reach the nearest police station. As Emma starts searching for a safe haven, she realizes she has a really long, dangerous drive ahead of her. And the pace really accelerates here. As Emma speeds up to bridge that 20-minute gap, the SUV driver seems absolutely determined not to lose her. He starts matching her increasing speed, that gap between the two cars getting smaller and smaller in her rearview mirror.
Section 3. A desperate move. The climax on the road.
Okay, absolute panic has fully set in now. Emma makes the smartest move possible and dials 911. She frantically tells the dispatcher about the suspicious vehicle tailing her. The dispatcher gives her a vital, crucial instruction: stay on the line and keep driving straight toward the police station. But then the situation goes from terrifying to critical. The SUV pulled right up beside her. For several miles, he'd been tailgating her, but suddenly he maneuvers his massive vehicle out of her rearview mirror and directly alongside Emma's car on this dark, isolated road.
The driver completely escalates his aggression. He starts flashing his headlights and laying on his horn repeatedly. He's aggressively signaling and frantically motioning for Emma to pull her car over to the side of the road. Just take a second and imagine the terrifying sensory overload happening in her tiny car right now. You've got the loud, blaring horn, blinding flashes of light piercing the dark, and the sheer intimidation of a huge vehicle literally trying to force you off the road.
But Emma refused to stop. Let that sink in for a second. This is the absolute defining moment of the entire explainer. Despite the overwhelming pressure, the deafening noise, and the sheer terror of the situation, she makes a life-saving decision. She locked her doors, locked her eyes on the road ahead, and just kept driving. With the 911 dispatcher in her ear reassuring her that officers were already on their way, she endured what must have felt like hours, minute by excruciating minute.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate clash of intentions that night. On one side, you have the SUV driver's demands. He's trying to force her to pull over to gain total control of her movement and her location. But on the other side, Emma's actions, keeping those doors securely locked, completely refusing to yield to his intimidation, and stubbornly driving toward a safe zone. Her resolute, instinctual defense mechanism just completely derailed his dangerous goal. Section 4. The safety takeaway. Survival and aftermath.
Finally, after what seemed like an absolute eternity, Emma saw the glowing lights of the police station ahead. With a massive wave of relief, she turned straight into the parking lot. And the very second the SUV driver realized where they were, he abruptly whipped around and sped off into the night. Police officers rushed outside to meet her. She was understandably shaken but completely unharmed.
After Emma bravely described the vehicle, investigators got straight to work. They reviewed local traffic cameras and security footage, and after a few intense days, they actually identified the SUV and located the driver. And what they found? It proved Emma's danger was absolutely real. The man had a history of being involved in several suspicious incidents. While we might never know his exact intentions that night, investigators firmly believe Emma's decision not to stop prevented a highly dangerous situation. She literally saved herself.
So, the crucial point here is this. Emma's quick thinking is an absolute masterclass in personal safety that every single one of us can learn from. We can distill her actions down into 4 actionable, empowering steps for anyone who ever feels like they're being followed. Number 1, test your route. Take a strange turn just to confirm your suspicion. Number 2, call a friend or 911 immediately. Get someone on your side tracking your location. Number 3, never ever pull over. Do not hand an aggressor control over your movement. And number 4, drive directly to a safe zone like a well-lit police station.
Today, Emma's case stands as a prime example of how basic awareness and making smart, calculated decisions can make all the difference in the world. Because sometimes survival really does just come down to one single choice. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought. When the moment comes, will you trust your instincts instead of ignoring them? On that cold fall night, Emma made the right choice. The choice that literally separated survival from tragedy. Thank you so much for exploring this incredible story with me. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next explainer.